speaker is running for Jacksonville City Council, District 8. Please welcome Ronald Tracy Robison.
How's everybody doing today in Lakeland, Florida? I'm stepping to this vicinity with these great people. I feel like I'm standing amongst heroes and giants, you know, from the Underground Railroad in Venezuela, so people overcoming certain ailments in their life and saying that, you know what, I'm a simple person, a simple being, I just can't stand by and let people take away our individual liberties the way it's been taken in the past year. So I want to congratulate everybody for being here this day. Good evening, my name is Ronald Tracy of Jacksonville, Florida. I'm running for the City Council District 8. I'm a simple man, as I said before, with a simple upbringing. As a child, I was reared by two extraordinary individuals, a mother and a father, that wanted nothing more than to raise me in the ways of the nuclear family, so as to conduct myself as a righteous man of virtuous integrity akin to the statesmen of old. As I've grown, I attributed these core tenets in a very similar light to the unwritten code you all may be familiar with, especially for the history nerds, and that is the Roman Code of Mos Maiorum, composed of 7 major principles of life. One being fides, or trustworthiness and credibility. The other being pietas, the attitude of dutiful respect towards the Creator, your home, your parents, and your family. Religio, the bond between the Creator and man. Disciplina, the importance of disciplined education. Gravitas and constania. Gravitas was dignified self-control. And constania was steadiness and perseverance. Virtues, meaning that is to be what's called an ideal man or human being. To know what is good, evil, useless, shameful, or dishonorable. Dignitas and autoritas. Dignitas meaning your reputation for your worth, honor, and esteem, which in turn gives you autoritas, meaning prestige and respect. Why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you this because the vile eye of the Leviathan, a term we affectionately attributed to the central authority, has waged a war against the griots, or the bards, that weave history by way of oral tradition, word of mouth, teaching the next generation of young minds who would either become the world's leaders or the world's paupers, beggars, and victims of a circumstance not beholden to themselves. Tonight, well, not tonight, taught that their identity rests in special interest groups or demographics that morph into political coalitions, whether it be by race, gender, economic, or home status. Lately in Jacksonville, there's been a growing concern with the tenets that my campaign is diametrically opposed to which it is intersectionality, critical race theory, and most importantly, the Public Education Department of Duval County Public Schools in Jacksonville, Florida, prioritizing erasing the names of 6 schools, costing us over $825 million. Brother Eric, was it million? Thousand. Okay. Woo! And it was a short number. He just told me that earlier today. I was here for exactly about a couple years. They're warming up. And then $25,000, I rounded up, it's $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Erasing the schools costing $125,000 of taxpayer money without consent nor barely even notice, while 1 in 5 children in these schools still fail. Well, with little to no economic prospects, especially with the state raising the minimum wage up to $15 an hour for the next couple of years, which has successfully priced them out of the competitive job market, with little to no chance of gaining experience that they would need even by submitting an application. But at least they removed the harmful name of a Confederate soldier that they had no idea nor that they cared about. Awesome. Now, meanwhile, the CDC moratorium, which we're all maybe familiar with, has completely overstepped multiple state constitutional boundaries by telling homeowners when they can and cannot evict from their home, private homes that they own. Basically, waging a war against private ownership, property ownership, land ownership. I want to digress for a second. One thing I've been listening to people speaking, and one thing that we all share in common as Floridians, we're simple people. Taxes are being raising on land taxes, raising gas prices, going for greedy lobbyists. And we just can't stand by. We have a conviction within us that say we have to do something because we just want to provide for our families, for our friends and our loved ones, without the aspirations or poisonous ambitions of running for a national authority that takes you further and further away from representation, proper representation. And like I said before, the blue knows poverty, and I'm going to go in that section right now. Now the kicker though, about the CDC moratorium going against property owners, is that the poor renters were told that they didn't even have the constitutional state right to work because the job was deemed non-essential. This not only triggered an increasingly homeless population, but increasing homeless population within the district where the city councilwoman within my district is the CEO of a homeless shelter. Coincidence? I'm sure. Sounds like job security, but anyway. Now to profit off of the month of Pride Month that some may celebrate, the Central Authority in Jacksonville, Florida, they came with this program called Jasmine, Jasmyn. There's a campaign that includes $1.5 million in taxpayer costs of campus expansion for LGBTQ youth, which is just another way of saying that we're going to create a situation where we take away your property rights, we're going to take away education, we're going to take away your individual liberties, so as to keep you covered within our teeth and say that you can't raise your own self, you're not competent, you're not well enough, or have the conviction within you to create your own future. So give that to us, and we'll settle that for you. So me being a candidate for City Council District 8, it took me a turn because right now the population has gotten so big, they're rezoning, I'm on the very edge, I'm on the very cusp. We want to say it's gerrymandering, which it may be, but we're going to see. So what my campaign is about is strengthening very people that they say can't do anything for themselves. Like I said before, political coalitions, when they put these little interest groups, I'm not knocking what they're doing for the youth that they say they're doing it for. It's the government choosing the winners and the losers and pitting people against each other is what I have a problem with. Which brings us back to what the other gentleman Matt, talking about Marxism. The proletariat versus bourgeoisie, black versus white, man versus woman, gay versus straight, whatever it may be, we should always come together as liberty lovers and say, we don't need you. And that's my message for me running city council. And the title of it is Liberty Without Permission. You go to the website, pass our business cards, come find me. I'll be around somewhere in this building. And on the website, it'll say tradition, passion, and culture. The three things that I feel that my city is lacking. It's a city that has a rich history, but seems to want to forget itself in the process. So, yeah, my name is Ronald Tracy Robison, and Ms. Jorgensen, I want to say, you mentioned earlier that we should be honored to be amongst Republicans and Democrats, to be on the same stage. I like to think that they're being honored to be in the presence of us.